Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Age of Empires 3 replay. Spawn on top left side as the blue Swedes, we have Rumble for skin. Spawn on bottom right side as the red Italians, we have DalJoUBu, I butcher your name, well enough to be served on somebody's plate. Architect building up the market into a house. And when it comes to this map, we do have the also important cow, as well as the less important house in Oldenburg, and the completely irrelevant House of Fanhour compared to the cows. Sorry, I like cows. Another note as well, I've been looking and more research into the Italians, wondering how to play them a bit more effectively. Well, I can say that I haven't found, when I've more and more research into it, I've been finding ways how they're not to play them effectively. I've been thinking about, like, the Lombards. It feels the Lombards are simply not good. For example, let's look at this way. Let's take a look at the wood conversion to the other resources. When you deposit in wood, and you say you purposely collect up wood to be thrown in the Lombards. Wood is, of course, the slowest. It collects at a rate of 0.5. The Lombards does have a consumption of wood per Lombard of 2 per second. So you need 4 villagers on wood to maintain constant Lombard trades, assuming we're just only looking at wood. And that will net you 1.5 food and 1 gold per second. Effectively, you turn 2 wood per second into 2.5 of other resources per second. And so, effectively, your villagers are providing a collection rate of 0.625 per second. That's only slightly better than gold, and of course better than wood, but also inferior to food. If you do gold, it's roughly 3 villagers, a little bit more, about 3.33 villagers. And the effective collecting rate is better, but still not great. It's like 0.74, if I remember correctly. Food can give you the highest return, where effectively your villagers are collecting up at 1.12 per second. Which, so, depositing food will give you the highest returns compared to all the other resources and compared to villager collection time. But still, putting in food will give you net your wood and gold back. And arguably, honestly, wood is the least useful resource, and it collects it the slowest. Wood, if you deposit wood, you get food and gold, which allows your Stark Iron to progress to aging up. And with wood, your passive ears do cost quite a bit of wood, which is nice and all, but not really good substitute trying to maximize the Lombard to get wood collection rate, honestly. So the more I look into Lombards, the more I say, don't think about getting Lombards in Age 2, or at least not really trying to maximize their usage. You can get some pretty nice cards that go along with them, because if you look at this, invest 600 coin into a Lombard, that effectively gives you 300, technically that gives you 300 wood and 450 food. So it gives you a return of 750, which is better than the standard, like, 700 cards. So it is technically more efficient, collects up automatically, so less villager collection time. But of course not immediate. Some of the other financiers that deposit 800, this is where you actually get your real deposit. This comes to you with 1 free Lombard, which is very nice. But if you deposit 800 food, you get 400 wood and coin. So 800 as opposed to 700, still better, but it does take a bit of time. So it's only marginally better. And of course here, this is why I think how Lombards should have more cards to go along with them. Add in cards, and maybe even just research, improve the exchange rate of Lombards. 1 to 2. In this case, it'll give you a little bit of experience. Do note this experience trickle does not stack if you have multiple resources plugged on in. It will only give you 1 experience per Lombard while exchanging anything. Not individual stuff, just anything. So yeah, that's just my brief take. Don't focus on the Lombards all too much. And there's a doggo. He has gotten the Duelist. Improves your Swedish Explorer in combat. Gives him a Canyon Combatant. And gives him the Powerful Strike Attack. Let's see. Powerful Strike Attack. I don't know. I can't look that up. Heavy hand attack, I'm assuming that is. Times 20 versus Guardian, so maybe an anti-Guardian attack. Let's see what else is here. Might as well start talking about the actual player's decks after I talk about that too much. Team Frugal Constructions gives your entire team... No. Yeah. Gives your entire team a 0.75 wood trickle rate. I think Capitalism, other trickles initially is 1.35, so it's a little bit weaker. But it also improves your villager gathering rate while collecting wood. That's an interesting card. I think that's pretty good. And, oh yeah, here's the food trickle one, 1.5, which I think Capitalism is 1.35? Still, you can get 2 trickles as sweets to go along with the trickles of your berries. Interesting. We rock slide, we got assassins and theaters. So this is some sort of mercenary deck? Outlaw into mercenaries? Zaplock, platoon fire, Kamalar tower, castle, blowgunners. No Jaegers. Is this an outlaw deck? Swedish outlaw? Is that even a thing? Anti-player. Is he talking about just killing off the opponent's hero? Factory, let's see. Battleship. Here we go. There's a mercenary contract, so this will give you access to mercenary. So it is more or less a mercenary deck. So it looks like it's outlaw into mercenary. The saloon house or the theaters will reduce the population of your outlaw units by 2. Well, it'll make some outlaws very population efficient, some of them won't be very population efficient. Definitely interesting. But for a card for something that doesn't provide you really immediate benefits, it's a little bit of a weak card, honestly. Now the Lombard there. Was the Lombard age up? May have been. I mentioned, and I talked quite a bit about the Lombards, but time to look at the other one. You also got these other shipments of Lombards. These shipments are actually significantly better. After all, this will be 600 and then 900, so this is basically 1500 shipments, which is pretty good. Got the Millie's Arsenal. Let's see, German Mercenary Company, one-time mercenary shipments. Yep, looks like it is going to be... I can't really describe what the deck is. Definitely going to be a bit more of a military aggressive deck, to say the least. Focus on military shipments. Another Lombard pulling the field. Now it's going for a shipment. About 800 food. He has mainly put stuff in here. Oh, it's only 1. Or 0.25 experience per second, not 1. That's my bad. Still, that does not stack depending on having multiple stuff in. You can see everything is deployed in here. This will give you pretty much a net return on food, but that's about it. The more I look into it, the more dissatisfied I am with the Lombards. You have this, he's going for the Royal Huntsman there to get to the extra villagers to hunt. And now he's going to have a large amount of food stockpiled on in his Lombards. His income is going to be very balanced, perfect for these mercenary shipments, as well as the Balisca shipments. If you build your decks just right, you can get 3 Baliscas, but their shipment-based system does not allow you to get multiple groups of shipments. And now we've got some outlaws being employed on in by the Swedish player. He does not have the theaters just yet. He always can go for, he may better go for Dominions. He's going for Eisenberg Ironworks first. Dominions will give him more population space. Let me slow down. I think he should go for Dominions before he goes for the theaters, because this will improve his max population. This will improve his current population usage. I think the max population usage would be a little bit better. He also has some assassins. Assassins have 10 damage, 20 range, so they have skirmish range, but they are, of course, a counter unit, countering opposing mercenaries and heroes. does not take out Guardians any quicker. Which, if they were to have bonus damage versus Guardians, that would probably make them a little bit more useful. He already has the Assassin research as well, which do more damage from normal units and vastly more damage against heroes and mercenaries. Unlock the charged rifle attack, which allows you to see units they've already recently hit. Don't really know if Assassin's going to be useful too much, because 20 range is nice and all, but 10 base damage is not too great. Guess we'll find out soon enough. It will delete his opponent's Explorer, that's for sure. And Lombards do act as taverns, which allows you to pull out mercenaries and outlaws, so his assassins will be very useful in this situation. Cossack Daredevils only have 3 populations, so it's actually a pretty good card for the Cossack Daredevils. They're turned with 1 population units. They have really high attack speed. So imagine plus 50% damage, and that will give you more equivalent to other melee heavy cab. Let's see, that would be what? Additional, let's assume 10 for easy, or 25 damage approximately. So yeah, the more closer to, I guess, Step Riders. He is now going for this trading post as well, which will eventually give him access to the Sacred Band Infantry. Do now the age up to the Bishop, which will allow him to move diagonally a little bit better. Another Ballista being pulled out by the Architect. He does have 2 Architects in the field. He can get up to 3 in age 2, and he can get up to 4 in age 3. And looks like he is going for a food-based economy for his Lombards, which will give him other resources. He has quite a bit of food stockpiled on in. 1,200 food. I think he has all 5 Lombards blowing field. Yes, he does. And so 1,200 food will last him, what, 2 minutes? We got another Ballista deployed on the field. So he is maintaining a nice, neat 3.25 experience per second, massively. He's now also bringing the Lucian Financiers. And I think the wood deposit cards are much better, just because it gives you food and gold, which are, in my opinion, more valuable resources for aging on up. He is pretty close to aging on up, needs a bit more coin. And also, I think Brazil, Italy can revolt to Brazil, combine with architects to build free town centers. Brazil is my favorite revolt deck. I think Italians can make a pretty good Brazil revolt deck, or civilization. You also can bring in a shipment of coin. Villagers migrating around. They would probably get hit here. And that's the problem with having so many villagers on food. You will eat through everything very quickly. You got the Explorer here. The Explorer can be deleted by these... Oh yeah, that rifle attack is a charge attack, not a... They're generally a melee unit. And these guys having, what, 10 melee damage is not that great. Weaker than a Musketeer. I'm not too impressed by Assassins. I'm going to be simply put. He has researched the advanced politicians, which he did for the secondary town center. I sort of disagree with that. The secondary town center will give you a little bit of books, if I remember correctly, in which that's just not worth it. It gives like 300 experience. I'll probably... Some of the advanced politician stuff I think should just be buffed a little bit. Like instead of 300 experience for books, I think it should just be +1 shipment. The Papal Guard now being researched, unless this will be the improved one. That could be the case. Now also bringing in shipment of priests, I should say. Now it's going to be playing the mill there, which will give him a nice one food per second trickle. He does now have veteran passive ears. And the Papal Guard, that may give him extra guard passive ears, but I'm not sure. He does not have the Steel Bolt research. We got a lot of Everzones here, which is a Skirmisher variant. And you got some Hodricks, a counter Skirmisher. So these guys would do great work versus those passive ears. An outlaw counter skirmisher. Huh. Now it's got a pair of dragoons, which these counter skirmishers will not be effective against them. As regularly effective. The other ones will be effective against them. They're taking some damage there. Do not get the Millie's arsenal. Looks like he's right now focused on coin for his Lombards. The amount of resources stockpiled up, I have a feeling he may revolt. Maybe wait until he gets his factory out, because you only get the one factory. Does with the Papal Guard. Okay, that must be with the advanced politician. He's getting all the research now with the advanced military's arsenals. It's also make those technologies 50% cheaper, so just going for all of them, which will also give him a nice spike of villagers. Yeah. Papal Guard are a halberdier variant. Right now they have a good amount of health and damage, and they have the damage absorption effect. He has some priests here to heal up these guys. Right now he has a pretty good amount of resources. This is why I'm thinking he's maybe eyeing for a revolt. He does throw a bunch of food inside his Lombards. He has 55 villagers per response, 48. He's got the Logistician being researched. And more of the natives. Right now he's population 72 versus 85. We got insult here. Villagers engaged in the doggo. And think about the assassins as well. These Papal Guard, they're not mercenary, nor outlaw. The Papal Guard, the assassins, were the wrong choice. Papal Guard are classified as a heavy infantry unit, so these Everzones will get bonus damage to them. Counter skirmishers only get small bonus damage to heavy infantry. But honestly, plus 50% is not too bad. They're not classified as heavy nor light, they're just infantry. But he's trying to fall him back. He does go for another round of assassins. He has made a grave mistake. He is not fighting against any mercenary. Papal Guard are not a mercenary. And I got some villagers mixed on in, which is not great, but he does have blunderbuss, so they got 6 damage and 16 range. More villagers just firing away. Trying to get what damage they can. Now got some veteran boyars. Another fast hacking infantry. This time not an outlaw. It is a native. Villagers taking some fire there. He has 1 shipment. He can select that factory and then iron for revolt. Now we got the guard halberdiers. Village need back on off. He's taking a little bit too much damage on his villagers. Yeah, I really think he should just get that factory and revolt to the Brazilians. That will give him about 90 revolutionaries to work with. Granted, they're half revolutionaries. More warriors being put in field. He needs to get out some more anti-cavalry tools. More Everzones being put in field. I'm not sure he's eyeing. He has so much resources there. Okay, he just invested a lot of coins or something. He needs pikemen. And he needs counter skirmishers. I'm not sure what he's eyeing. He's losing some villagers a little bit foolishly. He does have 2 town centers at the moment. Another round of passiveers. The guard passiveers. Italian players going for a pair of falconets, which are not going to be useful against these boyars. Right now, its issues are these boyars going for a round of redcoats or musketeers, going for a round of their skirmisher, falconets setting on up. That's a good volley there onto the doggo. Dante has 3 health remaining. And Dante does go down there. Boyars do overrun the falconets. Oh, we also got the creep below gunners deploying the field. Musketeers firing away. They are veteran musketeers. Going for a shimmer of the skirmishers as well. Overall, it feels like the Italian player has bad management of everything. Has way too many resources in these lombards. Doesn't have the advanced Lombard card. There's his skirmishers and does bring the town militia as well. A single boyard will cause some issues, but these creep low gunners are classified as what? Light infantry. Trade monopoly for the Swede. They are classified as light infantry, so these guards, these skirmisher units will not get bonus damage against them. He could go for the Basilica's counter skirmisher unit. Yes, there's quite a bit of wood there. There's plenty of wood inside the Lombard. So I'm not sure what he's eyeing. He does have some fishing boats out at sea, but he does not have the gondola card. These warriors will still cause some issues. Doggo does go down as well. Toot his horn. But the boyars are just getting way too much good work because he just simply has not really deployed on adequate counter to those boyars. Another round of militia. We do now have the Wilkenbach allies. He is age 4. The Wilkenbach allies are 7 light cavalry with a deadly hand attack. Oh, we got a monitor deployed on the field. He's getting gunned down by the Royal Huntsman, which is the upgraded version of the Huntsman. Don't think I've ever seen a ship gunned down by natives before. Another mortar ship. You now have the Catharsis being researched. I'm not sure what that is, off the top of my head. Trade post does go down there. This monitor needs to fall back to the dock and get healed on top. Down south, Reds push forward, this time with a bunch of more guard warriors. Does have the veteran Chevalugers. Got artillery foundry there. Still no anti-cavalry tool. We do have a factory wagon here. Swedish power deploying out a pair of leather cannon. We do now have more musketeers being shipped on in. A group of 9 of them. He does actually have the fortified outpost here. It does do 60 damage. The number of villagers idle here. He has plenty of wood, maybe to put out some plantations or mills. Right now he's just lacking coins, so plantations may be best. And Reg, so overall getting whittled on down. The Italian player has 74 villagers, the Swedish player has 50. If he revolts to Brazil, he will get 150 revolutionaries. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Trade Monopoly victory. That's why he went for the Monders. But speaking of which, he may want to use the long-range bombard attack against this trading post. It does do 200 damage times 10 versus structure, so it does 2,000 damage. And one of the monitors to go down. And now these villagers are starting to get hit there. Leather cannon firing away. Trade Monopoly imminent. And looks like the Italian player backs the game. I think both players made some critical mistakes. The assassins were the wrong choice, though. Think about it. Let's see. You can see the number of mercenary cards here. The Strata is a mercenary. The Papal Lancer is not. So there's actually a decent number of mercenaries for the assassins in H3, but going from H2 was definitely a bad call for Swede. And overall, the Italian player did not deploy any sort of anti-cavalry. And that was his big issue there. So that's my basic opinion. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.